Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful episode of A Tale of Dice. We are gathered here today for you to continue the adventures of the pack. But before we get into tonight's adventures, we have a couple of announcements. First off, as we are missing our dear friend Maxime for this evening, we have Llama taking over for him. So Llama has created a beautiful character, which I think you can see right now, his beautiful caricature of Llama. This will be the token that Llama uses during any combat that might arise this evening. And as such, Llama will also be sponsoring us this evening by creating all these beautiful maps. So everything that you will see today, of course, wasn't made by me or the internet or whatever, but of course was made by Llama.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
Llama thanks you for your patronage.
All right, so we are missing one Iro this evening, but nonetheless the show must go on. So we will make do with him not being here, and we will find that Iro is sleeping a lot and being very silent for the coming days.
He's hanging out with Ori a lot.
Yeah,
He's gambling.
Also, yeah.
and he's got a case of delayed seasickness.
Oh yeah, that's it. He ate like one of the chickens that you guys fought and slain in the last episode.
Was
Go.
deceased.
Like a little bit of plastic in him, and he ate that as well, and now he's like he's bedridden.
There's also plastic in this fantasy sea.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Everywhere.
There's so much plastic in the ocean that it actually like went over to the fantasy world. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Oh well. However, I think that is all for today. So without further ado, and without another sponsor from Llama, shall we play a game? And we're back. The pack has arrived in the beautiful port town of Aryla, a small alcove where elven architecture is still busy creating a beautiful idyllic landscape of an elven outpost, where the Bellethrone now has been entering port to provision up for their further journey farther north. Last time we saw that Allison, with his connections to his family, could also aid in this endeavor with allowing some sort of deal and a trade agreement with the Artano family in exchange for, reduced cost. What
Normal
mostly
cost.
just was, normal cost, which this time was being a little bit, well, what do you call it? Off-putting.
Yeah. I didn't like it, so I helped.
Hell yeah. And in the meantime, we had the rest of our beautiful party just going into town and seeing what is up. They saw that at the end there was a beautiful little waterfall, which would actually be the place where you guys could stay, the Fragrant Falls Inn. And during your stroll to the town, you came to a neat little marketplace at the back of it, which was actually like at the end of which you would of the town, at which point you would like scale the mountainside and get to the Isle of Aryla itself, where a lot of the food production facilities are located. Here you bought some nice trinkets and also came in contact with another little halfling, which namesake was the reverse of Iro, named Ori, which seemed to be a jovial guy just as Iro was, and actually got you into the Fragrant Falls Inn, but not before actually noting that you guys were intrigued by the cold iron weaponry that the city was known for. Without actually stealing any of this, you guys made your way towards the Fragrant Falls Inn, where Iro and Ori entered. Everybody already knowing who Ori is, cheering for him as you guys entered. And that's where we left off. So, as you enter the tavern, you can actually hear that things are already livening up a little bit. So, as the three members of the pack enter the tavern, Ori looks around, shakes hands with a couple of people, which are now here just for their breakfast, basically, because it's still somewhat in the middle of like sunrise at this moment in time. So it's not like people are drinking a lot. It's just everybody is starting up their day and having a nice meal in the Fraken Falls Inn before heading out to do whatever their business might be.
It's like 6, 7 a.m.
Right now, as you guys had a little bit of an adventure and strolled through the marketplace and you did some business over there, while you were still away at this point, I would say it would already be like 8, something like that.
Okay. So, remind me, Max, what was the name of the clan that the ship was? The merchant ship?
That we're on, or
no, the one we saw. There was so last session
the
we
weapon,
saw this
weapon thingy.
this
yes.
weapon dealer ship, but they weren't there. They weren't at home, so to speak. So they are probably staying here as well.
I know the name. I know the name somewhere. You know the name too. Please help me.
Go ahead and make a history check.
I'm not there, to be honest.
Well, then, of course, if you want to remember, like, as Grokal, the sounds escape your mind right now, go ahead and make a history check to see if you can remember.
Oh gosh.
So this would be straight up int.
Okay.
Yeah.
15.
You remember the name Tal Osiri,
Oh yeah.
Tal Osiri.
the Tal Osiri. That's what they know.
Tech elves.
Yeah. And you saw that the ship itself was in a mixture of like red and dull gold coloration. And as you look around the tavern, you can actually see that somewhere in the back, in a corner, there is one elf that sticks out like a sore thumb. He is fully clad in what seems to be like a red chainmail. So all the red linked rings or all the linked rings of his chainmail are colored red. But with over that, they have like these beautiful like twirly colorations of gold laid over it, like a very intricate gold and red elven material. You can also see that he has next to it on his seat, which seems to be somewhat of a weapon contraption. As it does have like a handle, which you know from a couple of other weapons that you have, but it seems to be that it is a some sort of bladed weapon that has been stuck into a large shield. And with large, I don't mean like a huge ass shield. The shield itself is only like this big, but it's like this thick, which is very weird. Which also has like this dull golden coloration and like some red like accents over it.
I got it. I understood none of that.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's fair. All right.
So basically like a very large shield,
Yep.
like a very thick.
Yep.
So normally a shield is like this. This
With like a
shield is like,
sword in it.
yeah, with like a sword at the top stuck into it. Which is just like sitting next to him to a stool. And right now he is like looking over some papers, having a sip of his tea drink, and just going over something.
So Iro and Ori, they're gonna do their thing. Recall kind of just tagged along because it was happening.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So Ori is just now getting in. Oh yeah, so you're gonna have to talk to Valen right over there, as he points to one of the bartenders, which is just now in the process of handing over a plate of food to someone over the counter, getting some money, nods to Ori, and also acknowledges you, gives you a nice nod and wave that you are welcome to come talk to him if you want. But I already have a table, and I'll get some halfling business going if you don't mind.
So I pat down Iro and take the party funds for myself.
Which we do not know how many it is.
Yeah,
We do.
we
you do?
contacted Maxine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
I held some of his family hostage, and he told me how much gold we had.
Very well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna then, after I shake down Iro, I'm gonna head over to this tall Allison.
Tall Allison.
Tell Allison, there you go.
As you walk up to him, he does have a few sakes which remind you of Allison. First off, he seems to be what you would see as a high elf. Like a normal skin complexion that you know from all types of humanoid creatures. Like a little bit, maybe a little bit bronzed, but not a lot. Very long ears though. He has short, spiky blonde hair, which he just has in a sort of riff-raff manner, which it seems that he doesn't really groom it. It's just like he keeps it short to get it functional. And things that you can also see that Allison has on him is that he has like a large belt with all different types of pouches, which Allison also has for all of his like reagents. And so where Allison is blue and silver, this guy seems to be red and gold. But far from that, yeah, he seems to be Allison.
Soft skin.
Soft skin, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Gurkal confidently walks over with this big bag in his hand, and he sits down. He grabs like this big chair and just slides it over. Yeah, kind of like loudly puts it down next to the elf, sits down, and he like puts the bag of money on the table. It's like, I don't know, a tenth of what we have.
Okay. Okay. I was like, okay, everything.
Yeah, not all the gold, but you know, just a big portion of it. And Gurkal looks. You exchange this for weapon power, my friend says.
Intrigued by the money pouch, he leans back into his chair, scans over the two figures that are in front of him, looks down, looks at Melo, the cat, who, strangely enough, has been very, very buff all of a sudden. Like the last time we saw Melo, I believe that his claws were a lot shorter and he was less muscular. Yeah, so it seemed that Melo wasn't really that good in combat because
I may have forgotten to do some things.
Some leveling, yeah.
Maybe. Who knew,
so
Speaking of
right?
which, we are all level 3 now.
Yeah, we are.
Including Melo.
Including Melo.
So the
He's
small cat
finally
now is like
competent.
buff.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
now
small.
slowly turning into like a saber-toothed panther. But the figure scans you over and begins talking in the common tongue, but with somewhat of an accent himself. Yes, I can exchange for the weaponry of the Talau City.
Yes.
What it is you look for?
I like tap down my spear on the floor with this. Yeah. Like this, or head splitter, but stronger, like this. And I show him my magical composite bow.
You do know they don't do magic.
I don't know. No,
That's
I
also
don't
true.
know. Yeah, that's a good. No, Gurkal didn't really understand.
I can make power, but no magic needed. You want neck splitter.
Yes. Strong net splitter.
He picks up the contraption, gets his sword out of it, and you can see that the sword is weird. First off, it has a small handle, like a switch that it has, like a trigger of a gun, next to the hilt. And as he pulls out his sword, you can see like the sword is a normal sword, but like halfway through, there's like a opening in it, and then it goes on further. Like there's like a opening, and he pulls out his sword. Well, I show. Not here. Come. As he pulls up his shield, he throws it up in the air and it just clicks at his gauntlet. Although it's very, very large, as I said, it seems to be light as a feather. And he just walks outside, waiting for you to join him.
Gurkal, with this big, villainous smile on his face, follows after the elf.
Fair, I follow as well.
You know Talau City.
Friend said, "You powerful crafters.
He opens the door,
Friend
steps outside.
of Artano family."
Do not know, but my people, great craftsmen, create one thing each. This mine, called Battle Sheath. Show.
Yes.
As he walks outside, he just shows his swordsmanship a little bit, and then, as he pulls back his shield, he gets his sword into the shield from the other side. Clink! You can hear it actually click into place, and as he pulls it back out, he pulls actually like a part of the shield itself with it, forming like a large stick, which it actually turns out to be a large battle axe, which it turns into. So as he pulls out his sword, clink, you can see that at both sides of the shield, the blades of an axe came out. It loosens from his grip, sprays the hair at the ground, pulls it back at his arm. So this is basically like a sword and a shield, which can turn into a large battle axe.
That's sick.
That's awesome. But like he can hold on to the shield while he has the battle axe in his hand?
No, so like the
shield
shield
becomes the battle axe.
becomes the head of the battle axe. So like that's why the shield was so broad, because it hold in it like the two blades. So as he puts in the sword, it comes out, it lengthens like the actual stick of it, and with that like the two blades at both ends of the shield come out and comes loose from his grip, and he can actually wield it like a battle axe.
Gurkal just he doesn't get what he's seen. He doesn't understand. So he's just
Excuse me?
looking in awe at this thing and looks at Hannah and looks back. You see?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems strong. But
So-
it's not magical.
It doesn't seem to be magical. It seems to be purely mechanical in its use. Go ahead and both as he is like showing you what it can do and like the different maneuvers that it has, like turning from like a sword and a shield into an axe and back, all in like one nice display of going into a flurry of blows. Go ahead and just make a, I would say, go ahead and make a crafting check as you try to understand how this thing would work and what it would mean like in game if you would wield it.
16.
16, nice. Basically what you can do is you can choose how to wield this weapon at any time. So at your turn you can go for purely sword and shield, at which point you just have like a sword and a shield. You can go full battle axe mode, at which you have just like a normal battle axe, you will wield it. Or you can do like a combination attack, at which point you reduce the armor class by 1, and you also like lessen the damage die on the battle axe by 1. But at that point you have like a combination of both. So instead of like a D12, you will have a D10 and +1 on armor class, and you can just like choose that at every turn.
Whoa, that's really cool.
Yep. Exotic weapon.
Does it have any further traits? Weapon
No.
traits?
So, weapon traits, yes, it does, because you can choose how to use the weapon. You have like the weapon traits of like a longsword or of a battle axe for each turn. So basically, it's just like you having a sword and a shield and a battle axe at the same time equipped while using them.
But you can also do just like a hand axe and a shield mode kind of thing. If I understand.
Yeah, so a long sword and a
one-
shield.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oof.
You're conflicted.
How much?
I need to look it up because I have prices.
But I can also use it as just a shield.
Yeah, you could just use it as a shield as well.
Yeah.
But at that point, you would just have a normal shield. So,
That's
like
fair.
the sword and the shield itself, they can switch in these different modes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's-
but at
that's like
this
the
point
appeal
I'm
of it.
like a walking arsenal
Yeah.
with all kinds of different weaponry. This would be like a great addition to that. Even if I don't really use the sword mechanic, because my spear is my favorite weapon by Kurenau.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the option, and I could dump my great axe, which takes up some serious bulk.
Yes,
This
definitely.
probably is very bulky as well.
Well, I don't think.
Yeah,
from
you
it,
don't-
he describes
yeah,
it
that's
as very
quite
light
light,
looking.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
like
it
the
weighs
weird
as much
part.
as a normal heavy shield, probably.
Yeah, that's like the weird part. As even if this shield is like very, very large, he seems to wield it with ease. Like if it would be actual, like you're thinking to yourself, like you know how metal works. This thing looks metal. It shouldn't be this light. It should be way, way heavier actually. Like with all the intricate like bladed parts and like how thick the shield is and that sort of
Does
stuff.
it
It's like
look like
one
it has
block?
a shield spike or shield boss on it?
It doesn't have it yet, but
I could add it.
yeah, you could add it surely. So let me just get right over here. All right. So in this edition of the game, he would run it about this one, 50 gold piece. But this mine, I show. Come. I show more.
Yes.
Different.
I follow him.
And in the morning, it seems that he is already doing business. He didn't really think that people would walk up to him and actually just buy it from him.
I make sure I didn't forget the pouch of gold.
One thing though, to like switch these different modes, you will have to become acquainted with it at the same way that you are also getting acquainted to the orc neck splitter. So you will have to train with this before you get proficiency in it, and you can actually wield
That's
it
fair.
properly. Because like the switching in and out of all this sort of stuff is difficult.
Yeah. But just using it as a shield?
Yeah, if you could just want to use it as a shield for now, that's of course.
Yeah, and then I train
doable.
with it during the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, I see this happening. I see this happening.
All right.
And then put a rune on it later too,
Yeah, that could work.
just to spite these.
Yeah,
people.
you would
They,
definitely.
they
spy
wouldn't
them.
like that. They wouldn't like that. But hey, if it's yours.
Yeah. Well, out of character, I get that they wouldn't like that, but Gurkal doesn't really see the issue.
All right. You guys walk up to the shipyard and come back to this large, strange vessel of him, like a catamaran, but like with 3 different hulls at it, with like the large sails at the front, with like a small sail in front of that, with like the streamlined hut where he keeps all of his only possessions. He walks up to it. From one of his pouches, he gets like the same, like different, like goldish coloration, a key, very intricate. Gets it into the lock and opens it up, and he comes back out with 3 different versions of like this thing that he created, all in different shapes and sizes. He has one that if you put in the sword in it, the shield has like a split in it, and it like claps open and turns into like a large greatsword instead of a great axe. He has another one that actually might be something for you, which is that it doesn't have a long sword and a shield, but it has like a hand axe and a shield. So you can actually put like the axe in it, and that makes like the larger axe, so it just like upgrades the axe bit. And then one which has like somewhat of a more elvish design, so the shield is like round, and if you put like the sword in it, you can see that the top parts of the rounded shield clap open, turning it into like somewhat of a war pick. So these are the 4 ones that he created, and you can see that each one of these is like a artisanally crafted piece of art in itself. Like they're all completely different. The mechanics, while same in their basic functioning, all seem to be working at a different way. So, and all of them he's willing to part with for 50 gold pieces. And he also has, because well, he knows that a lot of people will not be able to use this, and he doesn't have the time to train. So he also has like a training manual with it for 5 extra gold pieces that he sells with it.
I pick up the one that turns into a great axe, and I hold it up, and I look at the blade. You change blade, yes? Take out this part, make head splitter.
Next splitter.
Neck splitter.
Next splitter.
Show me.
Yes.
And he looks at the neck splitter.
Oh yeah, I show him the rusty neck splitter.
60 gold pieces total package with neck splitter part.
And manual.
And manual, yes.
How long would it take to make that?
Come back this evening.
Yes.
Back the next
I
player.
grab, yeah, this is Gurkal. I grab 60 gold pieces and I give it to him.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna stop you.
Business.
See you this evening.
We'll be honored. He turns out his hand, and you can see like the chain actually ends with like a glove of like reddened leather, which like halves at this. So he has like his hands free.
Oh, Ash Ketchum gloves.
Axiom.
Axiom?
Axiom.
Gurkal unique.
Axiom Talau City.
Axiom Talusiri. Yes. Kurnau's blessing on you. Axiom.
Leaf shield also for design.
Ooh, I leave my shield.
He likes to do this craft, and you are paying up front, so he seems to be a bit intrigued by what is happening. So, he also takes the neck splitter. He doesn't use the blade itself. You can already see that as he is doing business, and he is getting like one of his art pieces basically like sold. So like this is like a deal for him which can last him like a month or 2.
Yeah.
So this
60
is
gold
something.
for a weapon.
That's
so
a lot.
So
yeah.
this is because you're paying a price for this artwork, which is as expensive as a normal magic weapon.
Yeah.
So he takes it, and you can already see that he gets out like this large thin sheet of this golden material that he has been using for everything, and he gets out like a small cutter. And he begins to outline like the piece of the blade of the neck splitter and like cuts it out of the golden material. And excuse me, as the golden material was like this thick, the sheet that he got out, he just like without any effort put it up in the air, and it really seems to be that this material is just so goddamn light. It has to be somewhat of a nephew to mithril in that regard. That it's a very light metal, and that's actually why they use it for this sort of weaponry. And he already is like on his deck, gets like you can actually see that one of the parts of the mast and of like the wooden parts of the sails are actually also used as contraptions to like mount different pieces up, and you can see that all these different types of tools and like a small forge is actually coming out of this small hut of him as he begins to like craft and alter this design. And he breaks open the shield, and you can see like all these different like cogs and machinery parts all rotoring and oiled up, and he just like gets everything out together as you look at there like, damn, this guy's going into business.
You could actually ask if the first part of the weapon would be a spear. You could ask.
Small little birdie comes at your shoulder. Make it a spear.
I ask this. Also, one more. I grab another gold piece, but this one's for my personal fund.
Better be.
Oh wait, oh yeah, I do have them. I was looking at the wrong thing. I put down another gold piece. Also, if possible, make little axe into spear.
He looks at your weaponry. Leave spear also.
Yes.
You won't have any weapons.
No, I still have my shield boss. Oh no, I left the shield behind.
Yeah.
I still have 3 javelins on my back,
Okay.
and the composite bow,
On the great axe.
And you have your great axe.
and my great
Yeah,
axe,
okay.
and I have like 60 arrows, or 84 arrows.
84 arrows. With them also a few shining ones, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you had like these magic arrows that actually like
Thank you.
would shine up in the darkness.
Excuse me, Axiom,
Yes.
can I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you have anything made of cold iron?
No.
Do you know someone?
Talasiri, only Asilium. And he looks at like the golden material.
Do you know someone that makes stuff from cold iron?
Here, the man, he worked the cold iron. I spoke to him. Oh, which one? Wrong one. Excuse me.
Actually, it's like, oh,
There you go.
for a few seconds.
Trying to get some music going as well. Yeah, man work here. He make. I talk to him. His name, Urarion Aldavir.
Aldavir?
Yes, Uralion Aldavir is elf artisan at Blue Fire Kiln, middle of island. Make cold iron. I learn from him.
Oh, cool.
That here I am for.
Thank you.
Gurkal nods and makes his exit, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I just
Nightfall.
want to find.
Your battle sheath ready.
Yes. Now we go shopping for ruins.
Now I wanna find Aurelian first.
Okay.
Then we would actually be without coin.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, what are we gonna do if we're not gonna spend it?
Buy a
I'm-
bag of holding someday.
Oh, we can buy that too.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can buy a lot of things.
It depends what kind of runes you're gonna buy, but
Help.
All right.
I wanna.
So you leave Axiom to his design. So these are my constructed tech elves. They make beautiful weaponry, and every one of them makes their own little unique thing. So every Talasiri you will find will be making another like exotic weaponry piece.
Noise.
those series are awesome.
I like them a
Really
lot.
awesome. Yeah.
All right. So as you are now still at the docks, what is the next part of business?
I wanna find Aurelian Aldavir.
Okay. So go ahead and make a yeah. What would it be?
Streetwise? Oh, I mean
Yeah, so make a
D&D.
society check.
Society, yeah.
Make a society check for me, please.
Natural 20.
Ooh, nice. First off, while you guys are walking through the dock district, you can actually see, looking around. Oh, there he is, right over there. Allison. He has concluded his business now in this part of the morning. The sun is now getting completely up, as right now we are still like 8:30 in the morning, and you guys can meet up together and converse about what you want to do furthermore. Then, if you would like to go to the Blue Fire Kill and find this master smith of cold iron, with like a few quick words to people on the street, you can find that you just have to go all the way through the city itself, like through the marketplace where you came from, up thing, and then it's just like a 15-minute walk to the place where the Blue Fire Kiln is situated.
That's good. Yeah.
Allison.
You guys walk up, Allison's like,
Allison, found
hi.
great weapon. It is small weapon and you put it into shield and then it turns into big weapon. And I paid power, money to exchange. And he now making spear for shield that turn into a neck splitter.
Oh, welcome to the Teleceri.
Yes. And now we must find magic to put into weapon.
Yeah, let's not do that when he's around, okay? They, as far as I'm aware, they do not like it when you mess with what they made and implement magic on it.
Why?
Because they feel pride in their work.
That's fair.
Stupid pride. Find magic.
We'll find
But
magic someday.
Not
But
when he
How
here.
much did you pay, may I ask? 'Cause I don't know how much we have, but
60 gold.
And we
so
had
we
around.
should have about 50 left.
No,
I'm
more.
not sure.
We had. I opened the bag.
Around 100, right?
We had around 100 and
29, right?
I'm gonna quickly look up
I
what
thought 29.
Maxime sent me the exact number. And that would be a whopping 178
Yeah.
gold pieces.
Ooh,
So we still have plenty left.
Like
We have more than
111
100.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have plenty left. So
Okay.
we'll be fine. Like, let's buy everything. Let's go out shopping. Buy everyone something nice. You know,
First
let's
wanna
get you a
find
new
Aurelian.
elven dress, and you a flower for your staff.
What
or
do you
something.
want, Llama? Ah, yeah.
Makes sense too. Yeah, llama.
But Llama already is a level 526 character, so he is already like decked out with
Oh,
all the
he's
magic
decked
items
out,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so we're going purely for cosmetics.
Yeah. Like Llama has the fleece of invulnerability.
All right. So we go looking for this person.
Is the captain still next to me?
I would say that you guys had like parted ways already because they needed to actually, as the business is concluded, they actually needed to stay there to get the actual goods onto the ship. So that's the things that the quartermaster and the captain will be.
I would have asked him if he would be alright with me inspecting the dragon turtle.
Ah, yes, of course. I mean, it is your kill as well, in a way.
Very well. Then I'll have a look at that somewhere today.
Are you coming with us first?
Where do you guys want to go?
There's some guy named Aurelian Aldavir, and
Okay.
he.
Sounds selfish.
Yeah. And he deals with gold iron. He makes stuff,
Ah,
and I want to touch
He-
it. So.
sure, I'll go. I'll come. Let's make sure you won't die, okay?
I follow them and keep a lookout for magic stuff.
Magic stuff.
Yeah.
All of you, make a perception check for me, please.
My perception is now a whopping
I'll
+4.
also keep a
Plus
lookout
11.
for alchemic stuff.
Ah, yes. Very good.
Whoa!
Wow.
Natural 16, total of 20.
21.
19.
19? Very well, all of you. First off, as the sun is now rising, you can actually see that the air is getting a little bit dark, and you can see that where you guys were coming from, like the storm seems to be catching up on you.
Shit.
So,
Oh shit.
That was
No
a
joke.
slow storm.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
but
I don't know how fast
if it-
storms.
yeah.
Like in the distance, it seems that the
How-
storm that you guys had passed has been slowly moving your way, and you guys
How fast are the clouds going? Like, how long do I feel like this might take?
you feel like this storm might, with like your perception checks, you feel like the storm might hit somewhere in like the late afternoon.
Is the storm going at the same speed that other clouds are going?
It seems to be the fact, but it's difficult to tell because like the storm and like all the surroundings of like the clouds. If you're asking me like if this is this a storm that's acting weird and
Yeah,
is it
because
magical?
they said it wasn't a
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
storm.
So if that would be the case, you couldn't see it right now because like all the clouds surround it are part of this effect.
Yeah.
So the effect is too large to can actually see like if it's like acting differently than the rest of the.
So
the
we're
air.
just generally just being suspicious of clouds at this
Yeah.
point.
In that
Yeah, because they
case,
said it wasn't a normal storm. Like
Who said this?
People on the
it
ship.
didn't look normal.
Yeah.
But in that case, Alison would also like to look for a druid somewhere.
All right.
See if some, well, one with
Hello.
a little bit more experience.
Me druid.
Bit more experience.
I know stuff. I don't know stuff.
Well, Hannah, is this natural?
Sure.
Let's look for another druid, alright?
Go ahead and make a society check as you guys are walking through the city in search of like these different points of interests.
Society check,
Mhm.
24.
24.
Yeah.
You ask around a little bit with a few of the dock workers that are walking up to the ship again, and you can find that, oh yeah, I do believe that Kylora Soran, the one of the southern lighthouse over there, seems to be somewhat of a druidic person.
Kylora?
Yeah, Kylora Soran.
Saran.
She's the keeper over there
Thank you very much.
at Varya Harmen. And you can learn now that like this giant alcove where the city is placed in, it has two lighthouses at like the two cliffs at the 2 points like just beneath that to make sure that like the ships know where they need to go.
Okay.
And these are the two lighthouses. Like the one in the north is Varya Foreman, and the one in the south is Varya Harman. And like the one in the south houses keeper Kylora Soran, which would be like somewhat of a druidic person.
What would be closer to our current position? The lighthouse or Aurelian?
Right. You figure that well, it would be easier to first go to the kiln, to like the cold iron smith Aurelian, because there's only one large way which you can easily like leave this alcove, and that is like on its way to them, and then you have to like turn around and go all the way to the lighthouse from there.
Cool. Then we'll go and do that.
All right.
On the way.
Cool.
Very good.
Gonna touch some cold iron.
Is this Allison or Max?
Alison.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Are you okay, Alice? You have to sleep, don't you?
Somewhere, yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
Yes. Hannah, show rope.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what?
have like a nice rope.
Yes.
Good for your skin,
Oh, great.
so you won't like be damaged if we tie you up.
I'm not sure if I should be thankful or not.
Well, I thought of you, so you should be thankful.
Thank you.
No problem.
I didn't mean it like that.
Nah, I'll stay with you.
Just
like
like a few
A
sparkles.
wave,
of red.
a wave of red washes over
Yeah.
Hannah's face, but it dissipates again.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're heading to Aurelian.
All right. As you guys are walking through the city, you come by the marketplace again, and from there you easily find the place that you guys actually already saw last time you were there, and that is that there is like this large walkway that twirls up the mountainside and eventually comes up at the top.
Did I also notice some alchemic things on the marketplace?
I'm afraid not. No. As you were walking by, you did see here at the marketplace like a few stands that are just selling some basic alchemical components. So
Looking
what
for
you
that specific.
Oh yeah, so if you for like the crafting process that you need like money,
Any components.
you can buy that right
Okay,
over here.
Cool.
So as you walk by, you can quickly like ascertain like your basic reagents that you use in all kinds of alchemical processes.
Okay. In that case, I would like to buy enough material for one eagle eye elixir,
Mm-hmm.
enough material for one juggernaut mutagen, and then that would be 4 gold total, I believe.
All right.
And then the rest of I have 15 gold. The rest goes into elixir of life.
All right. I will say that just 15 gold at materials, and you can later decide at what way to use it.
Yes.
Because it will be very restrictive of me to actually sell you like you have to do exactly this. Because basically it's just like you have your basic reagents that you need together with the specific components to get your alchemical components going. So you just have like 15 gold pieces of reagents in general for like that process of
Stuff.
buying it off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was specifically looking for herbs and that kind of stuff, but
Oh, okay. So if you wanted to look for those, that would be a little bit difficult to find. Although, like the stand does sell one thing, and that is, I just need to find it for you. 1 second.
sorry for the misunderstanding.
No, it's okay. Let's see. There we go.
Alison figured this is a trade hub. I can buy some things here.
Well, you thought wrong.
Yeah. apparently.
Yeah.
You find something that is the owner of it. Actually, he calls it Old Man's Friend. That's what it's called. It's a sticky leaf herb that grows in 2 inches, but up to patches like by 10 by 10 feet. So it's like large beds of this sort of herb, and it acts like catnip for dogs. So that's why it's called Old Man's Friend. However, it is told that you can also use it for that it also has some healing properties, or at least like some stabilizing properties. So what you hear from this vendor is that he sells it and it could use to like stop the dying and wounded condition on creatures.
Okay.
But you would have to figure out like how it actually works.
Just
You guys are together at this.
just knowing.
So yeah, so if you, I don't know the specifics, but if you are an alchemist, then this should be something for you.
What is catnip?
It's interesting. I'll explain it later.
We could
But
show it to you.
uh,
We have a
just
cat.
Alison having an understanding about medicine and this kind of stuff, would this improve my medicine check, or how would this? What do I feel like?
No,
how
so this
would-
the idea that you get, looking at
like
it a
I
little
can
bit.
stabilize people by doing a medicine check. Would this improve that check, or?
With this, you wouldn't have to do a check. You would
Oh.
create a magical potion, which could just like you're stabilized.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Pretty nice.
That's pretty nice. Yeah.
You'd have to figure it out, but looking at it a little bit, he allows you to just like go ahead and make a nature check for me, please.
10.
10. It's difficult to see from here. You would have to do some experiments with it to see first
How much
if
does he
how
have?
it
How
works
much would
and,
it
and if it
cost?
would actually like be usable. He wants to sell like he has like 1 batch, so enough for like 1 potion of this that he's willing to sell for you for 2 silver.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because he doesn't really know what to do with it himself. He just knows that, oh, I've learned that this sort of stuff.
got this.
First off, it's nice for dogs. Like he sells
Yeah,
it
I
as
mean,
a dog
how big
treat.
is the market for that?
Yeah, he sells it as a dog treat. And as you are an alchemist, he knows like, oh, but by the way, I have heard that you can also use it for this and this. So maybe.
Okay. In that case, I'll buy this off him.
All right.
Definitely.
So you
2
can.
silver.
All right.
Yes.
And we will add your reagents list with Old Man's Friend.
Cool. I like that name.
Yeah. Catnip for dogs.
Yeah, that's cute. Now I need a dog.
Well, then Melo can die, and then we can get a dog.
No!
Milo is slowly turning into like a lion, like, and eventually it just
dog.
like it just becomes a wolf. All right.
Just make him a hybrid.
As he bounces it up together for you, pleasure doing business with you. You hand over the 2 silver. A breeze comes over as you have like that eerie feeling, you know, like a coming storm. You just have to wait it out for now.
Okay, let's go to Aurelian.
All right.
Alison's not getting happy about this storm. But
It's
we'll
getting
find
very
a tree.
the weather is getting very pressing at this moment also.
Make a perception check to see if he's noticing the weather, or just being distracted by the things on the marketplace.
Oh, like the last perception check was that you actually like noticed the weather already, so you are aware like this will be trouble.
Okay. Recall's unusually perceptive for now. So he will.
We should go back to Fragrant Falls.
No, I first want to go to Aurelion.
Yeah, we're first going to Aurelion, then going to Kylora Sonang to see if she knows anything about the nature of the storm, and then we can go back.
Okay. But we have time?
This will hit us in a couple of hours, so we've got plenty of time.
Okay.
All right.
Lead on.
You guys walk up the spiraling case with different types of bushes and trees here and there that are still able to get some solid footing here on the mountainsides. And eventually you come all the way up the actual cliff. And here you see rolling fields on each side. Like in the distance you can see like small farmhouses popping up here and there. You can actually see like cattle to your left all the way there. You can see to your right also like there's still a small like plot of forest still left. Probably just like leftover trees from like the moments that they were actually like building up this entire field with agriculture. But where you are right now, it's just like this high grass which is waving in the wind. It's beautifully. And you can actually also see like to your left, all the way over there is the one lighthouse, and all the way to your right, like there in the distance, you can see the other lighthouse, and one nice small stone path which goes further, and you can actually see that there is a small signpost over there with like 2 arrows to each side with the 2 lighthouses named on them, and then the one going forward which actually reads the Blue Fire Kill.
One more thing on the marketplace, I'm sorry.
Of course, no worries.
I'd like to either look for material to build a syringe or for a syringe.
Oof. Go ahead and make another society check. See if you're lucky.
17.
17. You don't really find a syringe, but you can find just some glass vials. So you could buy some simple glass vials and try to make it into like a needle, I guess.
Sure. How much would this cost?
Let's
I'm
see.
terrified.
Yeah, me too.
You should be.
But also intrigued. Let's see.
Allison's been working on something.
A vial is just 5 copper pieces.
That's like the chow.
A vial.
Mom,
I
I
need
wanna
more
go.
files anyway. How many does he have?
He has 12 at this point.
12?
So you can buy 12 for 6 silver pieces.
They don't have bulk, right? Files.
Nope, they're just little things. They don't have any bulk, not even light.
5 copper pieces per?
Yeah,
So
per
12
piece.
would be
6 silver.
6 silver. Yeah, cool.
All right.
I'll buy them.
All right. You have added them to your alchemical supplies.
Yes.
Ready to craft some potions with them, or in them.
Okay, and then we're heading off.
All right.
Finally.
I'm sorry.
As you're walking through the countryside, you can see that the entire island, for at least for this part, is purely covered in agriculture. As we stated last time, also like as this place is a place where a lot of ships come to provision before they continue on their journey, it seems that food production here is a booming business, as there is always enough mouths to feed on all the different ships that come by. As you guys are walking through, it's actually very peaceful because you're just in civilized countryside. Maybe a little bit boring for Krokal, as there aren't really any animals to hunt. Eventually, like the path leads to this small plot of forest, and you can actually see that it's just like I think like 50 meters of trees, and you can actually just see through the trees already. Like no, not even one piece of wildlife in them for you to hunt.
There is a moment though where they have to stop me as I start charging this
Squirrel
herd of cattle. It's like food, and they're like, no, Grigol, no.
Stop.
Like all the sheep, meh, meh. And Grokal is learning more about society.
Yeah.
Eventually, however, following the different signposts, because like the path actually branches off a couple of times to make way to all the different farmhouses that you pass, you come to what seems to be somewhere not at the heart of this island, because the island is very, very big. Like you would have to walk a long time to get to the middle of the island, but at least finding some solid ground, you find that the path actually eventually ends just as an open clearing, again like fields at all sides, and then a small incline where you can see like a stone dome on top of it, with like a hole inside of it, which just now has like a small, easy trickle of smoke coming from it. This seems to be the Blue Fire Kill.
one of the cattle you tried to hunt down was llama.
I'm attacks.
As you walk towards it, you can see that the incline itself is a bit wider than the actual kiln itself. And as you walk up to it, you have like a small staircase down at all four sides of this incline, because there are four paths like from different sides of the island coming towards this kiln. And the kiln in the middle with like a small barn house next to it, and like just a normal house, probably where the master himself would be living. You see that the kiln itself seems to be in a somewhat dormant state, not really being used. And you can also see that the small house to your left has a little bit of light coming from inside it. So he's probably in there.
I'll walk up to there.
You walk down, you can see that next to the kiln there's this nice rack with all different types of tools, which seem very, very old in intricate ways, like all different types of shaped metal. You walk up to the house, knock at it, tuk, tuk, tuk. And the door opens up to a very long, very old elf. Hair that is gray,
kind of
almost white. He seems to be like a high elf. Again, like large pointed ears. I'm sorry, no Aladdin.
One day.
Like
Try.
long white hair which falls like after his ears and actually joins in with his large white beard, which eventually just like beautifully shink, cut it
Elf
off
with
at
a
one
beard,
point.
like
Yep. Yes. Can I help you?
Hi sir. I have a question.
Of course.
My name is Hannah. I was wondering if you maybe have some cold iron I could touch.
Okay, let me explain this. to you. She wants to know if she
If
has.
she's a fae.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can give you a couple of silver just for her to touch some of it. That
Uh,
will be alright. She just wants to experiment.
I will allow a contribution to my morning breakfast, but a few silver might be a little bit excessive. 2 copper might be enough. Very well.
Thank you.
I
A strange proposition, but
paid the 2 copper.
a strange party of members as well. Adventurers, I presume?
That's what they
Kinda,
call us, I
yeah.
suppose.
Very well. Please.
Servants of God. Kuranau.
He is, yes.
Of course.
The pack
Master
is
Dragon.
what we are.
Very well. So, well, if you, and he leads you inside. The house itself is fairly small. He seems to be somewhat of a sober person. Although he does seem to be somewhat of a, well, nature freak might be a little bit big, but he likes his plants, because in his house he has, the house itself is just like a rectangle with at one side the bed, and then a small table at it, and then at the other side like a workbench with all different types of things. But throughout this entire abode there are a lot of potted plants, like plants also hanging from the ceiling, some drying herbs that he's been drying out for his meats. He also has a small stove which is dormant at this moment in time, and you can see that the way that he illuminated his abode was with magic, as a dancing light spell is just like hanging in the air, which he doesn't really seem to matter over. He
Wait.
just like waves them aside.
What kind of magic do you wield?
Excuse me?
You're
Oh,
not- you're not
arcane
like
arts.
a druid or something, right?
I am not of the druidic profession, no.
That's only because I saw dancing lights.
A spell that can be acquired through multiple means.
That's fair.
However, if you would up the 2 copper.
Clink.
Thank you. And he walks up to his workbench, and he actually has like a rag. I was actually just working on this. Go ahead. Which is a small buckler of cold iron, which he's been polishing right now.
What is his profession exactly?
And what you heard is that he is the master cold ironsmith. So he's master cold ironsmith, Aurelian Aldavir. He's basically just the artisan here. So, if you would want to figure out if you have some Fey heritage,
Okay, a touch.
Dutch, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Maybe you want to hurt yourself.
That's
High.
high. Yeah, 26.
26. So you are a little bit on edge for this. So you touch it and you are trying to figure out if the stress levels that you are feeling right now are from your own anxiety or if it's like somewhat of a aspect of this thing that you are touching.
Yeah.
And you try to concentrate on it, you try to calm down, and you do realize that it's difficult to calm yourself down. So the cold iron does seem to make you feel a little bit uneasy, but next to a small amount of mental problems, it doesn't seem to actually like affect you that much. And as you are touching it, the man actually starts speaking. Well, it seems you are in the clear. Normally a fey creature would touch this, they would feel, become sick to the stomach. And while the face that you are pulling right now does seem to be a little bit uneasy, it doesn't really seem to hurt you that much, does it?
No, not really.
Interesting. This was also a question of mine I had about the Eladrin.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing this question up for me as well. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
You make magic weapons?
Well, it's been a long time when I actually forged cold iron weapons, as the cold iron supplies here on the island are long since been delved out.
No cold iron. I bring you other weapon. You put magic on it.
I am no enchanter, no sir.
Do you trade in cold iron, or what do you do right now, if I may ask?
I am mostly, people seek me out for restorative works.
Okay.
As I am still a master of my craft, I am able to repair cold iron items and cold iron magic items without losing their magical properties. So that is how I make my living.
So the veins on this island are completely dry.
As far as we know, yes.
Where enchanter, then?
We'll find some.
Please.
I do not know. I don't believe that we have a powerful wizard a part of the island or here at Erytrel.
Okay.
We'll find some.
Yes.
Be a bit patient.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for...
All right.
Helping.
Was that all? Is there anything else I can help you with? Are there any
That's it. And I'll walk
cold iron
outside.
works? No?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Quick business. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And as easy as that, you guys open the door and walk outside.
If it was actually trading in cold iron, I might have wanted to do
Yeah.
something, but he's not. So
Seems to be that like the cold iron reserves have long been been dried out here.
might have been
I'm sorry.
a bit of contact from my family, but
All right. As you guys walk outside, go ahead and make another perception check.
Oh dear.
19.
14.
19.
That storm is going quicker than we thought.
Oh no. Okay,
Like
let's
you guys-
hurry up to the.
You guys had like a 20-minute walk over here, and it already seems to be like, wait, did it move that fast? Because you were walking away from it the entire time with your back turned towards it. Now that you walk out of the abode, it seems that the storm is picking up already and is like heading into the harbor and heading the town fairly shortly,
Like, how shortly?
like in half an hour.
Okay, let's run to this thing. This is not natural. We need a druid. And
I'm a
Alison
druid.
Alison starts running.
All right.
Still a druid!
I guess we start jogging.
Sprinting, actually.
As you guys start sprinting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Allison just bolts it. Like, do you guys join him?
Yeah.
Recall like a
Alison-
dog chasing after a mailman. It's just like, cool, and he starts running as well.
Allison believes this town is in danger, so he starts running.
Wait, what's your speed? Like 30, right?
25.
25? Oh, then it's jogging for me.
He goes 75 feet every 6 seconds.
Allison goes into a full sprint, Hannah walks by him.
Yeah. My speed is 35, so.
Yeah.
But you guys are keeping up together, and as you guys are walking into the city itself, you can already hear the thunderclaps in the distance. There it is. Told you we could hear it.
Yeah, we can. We definitely can.
Yeah, nice.
So we start running.
All right. As you guys are walking up, a rain also begins to trickle. First slowly, then further, and eventually just like a downpour, like also getting your vision a little bit difficult as you guys are running and running and running. Eventually, as you guys are running for like 10 minutes straight, you get to the edge of Erythrel itself. And go ahead and make another perception check, Allison, and the rest of you as well. But Allison was actually looking for danger, so go ahead and see if you can find any of that.
17.
25.
25.
12.
12. All right. As you guys are trying to look through the rain, you can see like the city itself down just has like a very large downpour, and in the distance you can make out like the outline of the large ships that are rocking on like the waves itself, and like different people in the harbor trying to get everything down. But as another thunderclap hits it, boom, there we go. You can see like in the outline of the lights, it was actually getting down at one of the lighthouses. And in the light of the lighthouse, you could swear that you could see different flying creatures in the air around the lighthouse, like getting up to it, attacking it perhaps.
I draw my bow.
Same.
All right. Right now, like the lighthouse is another like 5-minute dash from you away. So
Yeah,
if
it's
you
a
guys
light
want to-
bow, so I can just
Alright.
carry it in my
Yep.
hand.
I draw my short sword.
Okay.
Because it's also
Hand
light.
crossbow from you.
Shink. Hand crossbow and staff, I
Yeah.
guess, in the other hand.
And Melo.
Always.
And
Melo
Melo.
in life.
Melo, now fully buff, is ready for action.
Melo's still not mature. He's just 2 levels
Just
up.
a tiny key.
He just dinged.
All right.
Meow.
And as you guys nod to each other, you know how this goes. You were already contracted to protect the ship. Might as well also protect a little bit of the city. Let's see what is out there in the rain. And as the storm begins to heighten, as the storm is hitting the town now completely, you guys are running for the lighthouse. And once you get there, the storm is at its fullest. You run up to it. The path leading to the lighthouse itself, another jolt of lightning hits the sky as again the sky lights up, and you can see like different, like almost living water imps as these creatures are like dashing through the air, assaulting the lighthouse, as this is like a large source of light, trying to get inside. And you can actually see that like one of these creatures, a jolt of lightning towards the lighthouse, hitting it, and a couple of rocks fall down to the ground.
I have the lore elements.
Mhm.
Do I perhaps maybe recognize?
Go ahead and make a lore check for me, like recall knowledge.
14.
14. As you guys are walking up this place, you halt for a second, look what it is, and you can actually hear Hannah say it under her breath. Methods. Methods. Small elemental creatures. Like basically what you actually thought it was, like water imps. Although there's one strange thing. Normally, water imps don't have lightning attacks.
Fuck.
So, as you guys are running into the fray, we'll take a little break.
Already? Is it that time already?
Yeah. It's already
Okay.
8:15. So yeah. So, after the break, we will jump into combat in the height of the storm, see if the pack can actually take down these methods and protect the lighthouse, or just die and then everything will be over. That's also a possibility, of course.
You
Yeah,
never know.
we're...
TP.
Yeah, let's see if
TP.
Lama can protect us.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Llama
What's your proficiency bonus
plus,
for attacking?
plus
oh, that's
26.
quite high, actually.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, plus 26. Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
And yeah. Okay, we'll see
40
after the
AC?
break.
That's intense, man. That's
Yeah.
intense. Are you sure you created your character okay? Yeah? No, I'm sorry, man. Dude. Okay.
You don't have to be mad.
Alright.
We know you're a sponsor.
Yeah.
All right.
See you guys after the break.
See you soon.